You won't believe how fast things are changing for Brits living in Spain, or even for those just planning to visit. Now, this week I've been looking into two major updates: the UK's new digital ID system and the new integration policy being proposed here in Spain for anyone applying for residency. Now, on their own, these might just sound like boring bits of bureaucracy, but together, they could actually change how we travel, live, and even belong here in Spain. So first up, let's talk about the UK's new digital ID plan. Now, the government is planning to roll out this new digital identity system designed to make things like proving your age or accessing online services faster and more secure. Now, it's important to say this isn't a digital passport. You're still going to need your physical passport to travel to Spain. But what is interesting is how this links to future travel systems, especially as the EU is in the process of rolling out its new entry-exit system. Now, the big concern is, are we heading towards a future where your entire identity, including your travel history and your residency status, is linked digitally? Because if we are, that could make border checks even more efficient or a whole lot more complicated, especially if the systems don't talk to each other. Now, if you're Brit travelling to Spain, you've already seen the changes. Since Brexit, we've gone from easy EU travel to being stamped in and out of Schengen. Now, soon the EU's entry-exit system is going to record your biometric data, so that will include a face scan, fingerprints, and a date and time of every entry and exit. And all this will be done digitally. Now, if we combine that with the UK's digital ID system, it's easy to imagine a near future where your every trip will be logged automatically. Now, on paper, it sounds efficient, it sounds magic, but in reality, for a lot of travellers, especially retirees or holiday homeowners here in Spain, it might mean longer queues, more data collection and less flexibility, particularly if you split your time between both countries. Now, while the UK is busy going digital, Spain are considering changing things in a completely different way. There's talk of introducing an integration policy for people applying for residency. Now, the idea is simply to make sure that people that live here or people that want to live here actually integrate. And that's going to be by means of proving that you've learnt the language, you understand Spanish values, and you simply become part of the community. Now, on the surface, it makes sense, and I'm not opposed to the policy, but for many Brits that have been living here, this could mean a ton of extra paperwork or proof of language ability before you're able to get or renew your residency. And for those that have not learnt the language, that could mean big problems. Here in Andalusia, even a regional president has suggested making a basic knowledge of Spanish a requirement for residency. Now, that might sound fair, but it also raises a question. How far should a government go in deciding how integrated someone is? So let's put all this together. You've got a UK government digitising identity. You've got a Spanish government that's considering tightening its integration policy. What that means is we're entering a whole new phase for expats and, to a degree, even travellers alike. Now, if you're a Brit currently living here in Spain, there's a couple of things you might want to do. First of all, I would suggest that you check you've got your TIE card and you're not reliant on the old paper green residency certificate. Secondly, I would strongly suggest that you learn the language, because if this does become part of the renewal process, you're going to need to be able to prove that you can speak Spanish. And then lastly, I would say it's certainly not going to do any harm to keep an eye on how both governments are using digital systems to manage travel and residency, because what's being built now could define how we move and even where we belong. So that's what's happening. Two very different systems, but both potentially changing what it means to live between countries like the UK and Spain. I'd love to know what you think. Do you agree, for example, with Spain asking for more integration? And would you trust a digital ID system run by the UK government? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Your comments really help to spark discussion, and at the same time, they also help this video to rank higher so more people like us can find it. Also, if you found this video interesting, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you haven't already subscribed, make sure you subscribe. It's absolutely free to do. It doesn't cost a penny, but it helps this channel to continue to grow. Anyway, enjoy whatever you're doing for the rest of the day, and I'll catch you in the next one.